Welcome everyone to Live at Larry's number 22. And I'm going to come around. Forgive that I'm dressed down. I'm in my warm-up suit. And I wanted to kind of give you a show, but I couldn't get a guest for tonight somehow. I tried a couple of ways, but God did not bestow upon us a guest, so I'm going to have to do something myself. Now, I woke up this morning and I had remembered my dad passed away, and I remember when he was alive, he told me stories about how he played for Tony Bennett at Ben Maxick's Town and Country Club in Brooklyn, New York, I believe it is. And it's funny because I think I looked at the site where that country club was, and I think I passed there. It's King's Plaza or King's something. It's like a big mall there or something. If I got the right place, I got lost around there once on my way to somebody's house or to a gig, and I ended up seeing that. And I never knew why I ended up seeing that there because I never really went back there. But then I realized I think that's the place where it was. And that's where my dad played for a few or a bunch of artists, acts, different, the Ritz Brothers, Sophie Tucker, different people. So, I guess that must have been a big thing for him in that generation of his to play there at that place, because it was a great club. It seemed to have a lot of seats, and it was very nice to play. So, and that always made a big impression on me because I was always scared to get into music because I thought maybe you couldn't make a living at it, but I knew if you were very good, you could. So I had to think, well, what would make me very good? And then I realized that after years and years of study, I studied when I was a kid, piano lessons. I studied from this man named Cy Green, who taught me stride style and repertoire. And then I studied with, first I studied drums, and I had some good drum teachers, Gene Thaler and Pete Webster. And I took one lesson with Duffy Jackson. It was a very unofficial lesson. He also came to my house once and jammed with me and my family. So I always observed him. I saw him play a lot. So I knew about swinging art that I got from playing drums. But piano-wise, I studied with that Cy Green, and then I studied with Sanford Gold, who's a great teacher from New York. And then I studied with Vince Maggio at University of Miami. And I studied jazz and classical and this and that, and I came to the conclusion after years and years of thinking that conveying the message of the lyric is the most important thing. If you could do that, because most songs, 80% of the songs that I play have either English lyrics to them or lyrics in some other language. So I thought if I could just master conveying the message of the lyric, and I started to really ponder this. And my teacher, Mr. Maggio, he sort of introduced me to that kind of thinking. He was more focused on the words and saying words in such a way where you got the message of what the word is. Like cold, he would say it with a hard C. So from then on, I realized, all right, so what do I got to do with music? Now, he would talk about cello lines and various orchestral things but it wasn't quite related to the lyric completely. So I pondered it myself for years, for like 40 years. I just thought about lyrics and how could I convey the message of the lyric through the piano. And I had met Chick Corea at a concert he played in New York, I think it was, and I went backstage and I asked him, I said, do you think music is so I was starting to think about it like a language. I was trying to analyze and compare music to English, and I thought, are there subjects and predicates, and are there nouns and verbs like that, and adjectives and this and that? And I said, And then I spoke to a saxophone player in New York who did a lot of gigs with me, a very fine sax player, and we had this conversation, and he said, music is not referential. I mean, it doesn't refer to anything, so like I can't say the word cat in music. But, so Chick Corea told me, I said, is music referential? At that time I had already been prepared, and I went to him with that word. And he said, no, it's not referential, it's you can't say the word cat, but you could speak about catness, which I thought was kind of profound. He was kind of referring to imagery. So like maybe this could be like a cat. Right? I'm speaking about catness. I observe a cat and I watch how it runs around, you know, and it kind of looks like that. Right? A little curiousness and whatnot. So that was one thing. And then I realized that you could play a whole song like that. And at first it could sound a little corny and hokey, but if you get in touch with the imagery that conveys the message of each word of a lyric, and you weave it logically and organically in a nice, what do you call it, in a nice sequence, then you could actually pull it off where it sounds beautiful, and it does not sound hokey. So that's what I've been working on. I'm trying to master that. Anyway, so here's what I'm giving you catching you up with all the things. It's going to bring me to a song that I want to do for you. I want to do I Left My Heart in San Francisco in honor of Tony Bennett. And the thing is, I woke up today and I thought to myself, wow, Hashem, when will I ever use this great method, you know, for some well-known singers out there that on whom it'll make a great mark. Now I know I play with a lot of local singers, great singers nonetheless here and in New York and California and this and that, and but sometimes they don't appreciate it, and I guess it scares them a little bit because they're trying to become well known, and maybe they don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole because maybe they're afraid it might not help them become well known, but if that's what they desire to do. But I think just the opposite. I think it's the very thing that would make someone stand out as great because they're conveying the message of a lyric. So, Tony Bennett was well known for that song, I Left My Heart. It's in parentheses. I left my heart, parentheses, end of parentheses, in San Francisco. I think the title is In San Francisco. I looked all over here in my library. I could not find it. I must have it in a different place than normal. Maybe I put it in state songs or something somewhere. And it's not where I thought it was in the Tony Bennett section, but it's not there. I even looked online. I couldn't find it in a way that I could download it. I did see it. It has a verse too. And I'm going to try to do the verse. And I transposed the whole song down to the key of G because that's where it's probably the most comfortable for me. I think Tony Bennett might do it in B flat, or I saw it written in C, but C was way too high. It has this high G for me. B flat has the high F, so I lowered it about a fourth. I put it in G, and I keep the D as a high note. That's a little bit of a high note for me, but it'll be very effective, I hope. And we'll try to do this. I forgot who wrote it, and I thought to myself at the end, guided by the boss, that at this point it doesn't matter because I'm just trying to show you imagery and show you how it can be very effective. So I'm just going to recite the lyrics. The loveliness of Paris seems somehow sadly gay. Now I might get some of the words a little wrong, but I know that word gay is not wrong. And I don't quite understand what the lyricist meant by that. Maybe gay back in that generation. I think the song may have been written in 1954, if I'm not mistaken. In this generation, that might have a whole different meaning. The loveliness of Paris. He's comparing places. The loveliness of Paris seems somehow sadly gay. The glory that was Rome is of another day. So Paris and Rome, right? I've been terribly alone and forgotten in Manhattan, in New York, I guess, right? So I'm going home to my city by the bay. He wants to go to San Francisco. Now I've been to, have not been to Paris. I've not been to Rome. I've been to Manhattan, and I've been to San Francisco. A lot of hills in San Francisco. Got those trolley cars, cable cars, whatnot. And a little scary place because it's like very hilly. And one minute you're walking straight and then you're on a slant and you got to like lean back a little bit. It's kind of a little scary in some places, if I remember correctly. I don't know, was there a Telegraph Street there? I thought I once went to I was trying to look for jazz or something like that in San Francisco. I don't know if that was, there's a place in Washington, D.C. I think that there might be a Telegraph Street. I think there's one in, I forgot the name of it. I think it's in San Francisco too, I might be wrong. But anyway, so I'm going home to my city by the bay. So this is the verse. It goes, the loveliness of Paris. Now, how do I convey Paris? Paris is very romantic. Seems somehow sadly gay. I don't know what it means. Maybe somehow not so good. Somehow sadly gay. Like sadly happy. Maybe gay was used as a word for a substitute for happy. Somehow sadly gay. The glory, the glory that was Rome is of another day. Now, another day, maybe it's not to the future, it's to the past. So maybe I'll go low, right? The glory that was Rome is of another day. I've been, now this chord is neat, it's like a terribly alone, and forgotten in Manhattan. So I'm going home to my city by the bay. By the bay. There's a bay, and by the bay. You know, a lot of this imagery, it's used in so many, I could use it in pretty much every song I know because it's usually the same words. So a lot of the same words are used, and I try to find new imagery, but some of the old imagery that works well, I guess now it's becoming more referential language of music because the more I use it, the more people can anticipate, I guess, what I would play. Although I should probably keep them on their toes and find new imagery. That's another point. And I also dreamed of maybe one day we'd all sit down, maybe all the musicians would sit down and try to make music referential. So like, say this means a cat. And this is a dog. Right? And we would all agree on that, and then we could use that in music. But there's some people that would not like that at all. They just want music to be free. They don't want any rules. Yet because I study Torah and I know that life is just filled with rules, and obeying rules frees up our evil inclination. That way we don't have any evil inclination anymore because we know what we should be doing, and if we don't do it, then we know we'll be punished. So here, this way, it's freeing to be a slave to God, but whatever. So having that kind of a thought, I even want to make rules for the imagery and make music referential. And I know that music can be used to attain prophecy. How? I don't quite know yet exactly. I played for a singer once, Saundra Karp. I played for him many times when he was alive and I lived in New York. And he would make a song into a mantra. We would just play chorus after chorus. And he'd tell me, even put a restriction on me, don't play any wild substitution chords or anything, keep it straight. So I'd have to figure very subtle ways. I'd listen to the lyrics and try to play off the lyrics, but most of the lyrics were in Hebrew and Aramaic, and I wasn't too familiar, so it was a little tricky back then. Now I'm going back to look at those lyrics and know what they mean in English translated. and understand the Hebrew and the Aramaic and try to find imagery to fit those things. So it doesn't matter what verbal language you use, you got to find musical sonorities in this method, which I think is the right method to play. You got to find musical sonorities to convey that message of those lyrics, whatever verbal language is paired with the music. Okay? So what was I saying? Let me see here. Lord, that was Rome. Is another day. I've been terribly alone and forgotten in Manhattan. I'm going home to that city by the bay. I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chill the air, I don't care. My love waits there in San Francisco, above the blue and windy sea. When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. And that's the climax. Now, the climax is very interesting. It's a long climax. It's one of the longest climaxes I've ever seen in a song. When I come home to you, San Francisco. Now, some people might release the tension right there, but the sentence is not done. Your golden sun will shine for me. And I would make the sun shine, right? And that's the sun shining. And that's imagery to help you have these words in your head. So let's take it from we did the verse, let's take the chorus there, or the main part of the song that everybody knows. I left my heart in San Francisco. What can I do for San Francisco? It's a very tender town to me because I want to go back there. I'm leaving Paris. I'm leaving Rome. I'm leaving Manhattan, and I'm going there to the city by the bay. So it must have a soft spot in my heart, right? I left my heart in. And you don't want to double notes if you can help it. I just doubled some notes, and sometimes I'm trying to think of the lyric, and that's why I got to master all the voicings. You take a voicing, right? There's 3 notes. Say like in a triad. You could drop the second note down, make it a drop 2 voicing. You could drop the third note down and make that a drop 3 voicing if you have 3 note voicings. If you have 4 note voicings, you do the same thing. You could drop the second note. So here's a G major 7. It becomes a G major 7 drop 2. You could drop the third voice, drop 3. You could drop 4. You could drop 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. You got to master all that vocabulary. Also, there's 5 note voicings, 6 note voicings. Probably just go up to about that, and then 7 and 8. Once in a while, you have a call for a 7 and 8, but sometimes there's doubling involved there. It's hard to get maybe voicings for all the chord qualities that do not have doubled notes when you're dealing with 7 and 8 note voicings, or for sure 9 and 10. But so anyway, and then you're accompanying, when I'm playing piano, I'm accompanying, probably have a bass player and a drummer, and I got a singer. And I don't want to give them too many notes and make it too dense, right? But sometimes I need to be dense, and sometimes you want to double because you get these cluster sounds, right? I'm doubling the melody, right? Double the 7th there, right? And I can create all these different pieces of imagery. So let's try it again. I left my heart. I'm not doubling anything. In San Francisco, hill, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chill the air. Now that seems to be attached to the next sentence. I don't care, I don't care, because my love, I might even stick the word in cause in there because sometimes it's not written in the lyrics and you want to know, I'm trying to help you understand what the heck I'm saying, right? I got to understand myself. Little cable cars right halfway to the stars. A morning fog may chill the air. I don't care, my love waits there in San Francisco. More terms of endearment. Above the blue. I can start the imagery here. I know it's and windy sea. Very, very windy sea. When I come home to you, San Francisco. What do I play? San Francisco. I don't want to play any substitutions maybe, because what does that have to do with saying? A lot of pianists will just go right to the substitution because it sounds hip and cool. But really I should gotta be attached at the hip to the lyric. So, San Francisco, another term of endearment like I did before, seems to be a recurring theme. Your golden sun will shine for me. Let's put that together and see how it sounds. Let me give an introduction. Maybe he's traveling all over the world and he's comparing San Francisco to he's comparing every other place to San Francisco and he wants to go home to San Francisco. Of Paris is somehow sadly gay. The glory, now this should be real big, the glory that was Rome is of another day. I am been terribly alone. Very alone. I've been terribly alone and forgotten in Manhattan. So I'm going home to my city by the bay. I left my heart. Now, Tony Bennett's album, I listened to him before I came here. They do this thing. Something like that. I've heard pianists play it different ways. Something like that. They play off of it. I don't even want to do it. I think I want to just abandon it. It's a cute little thing. Maybe it worked for him, but that was my point. I never got to play for Tony Bennett, and I always wanted to. My dad played for Tony Bennett. I had an acquaintance, a colleague that I played for. His son played for Tony Bennett. And I think at one point I was living in California or New York, and I called that person. I said, listen, if I know I can't work on Shabbos, maybe that was also a problem. I know I can't work on Shabbos, but if there's ever an opening where your son can't make it to play for Tony Bennett, do you think you could possibly put me on the roster? and I don't think I heard from him. So I guess he wasn't interested. But at that point, I had been working with this whole imagery concept, and I knew that, boy, if I had Tony Bennett singing, I could put stuff under him. I mean, this colleague's this colleague's son had a beautiful command of the pianistic vocabulary. However, I never really heard him use imagery much. I don't even think that kind of crossed his mind. And I heard Ralph Sharon play for Tony Bennett. Also a nice command over the vocabulary, and a very nice touch, by the way, too. He was so delicate. I saw my brother and I somehow, we knew the trombone player. We were up in the Catskill Mountains playing with my family, and the trombone player was playing for Tony Bennett at the Concord Hotel. Somehow we met him, and he invited us to come hear Tony Bennett's rehearsal. So I went to hear Tony Bennett with Ralph Sharon, and I remember Joe LaBarbera, I think, was playing drums. And I forgot the name of the bass player. You'd know it if I mentioned it. I just don't remember his name. But it was a great Ralph Sharon trio with Tony Bennett, and it had a whole band, full orchestra with trumpets, trombones, saxes, strings, French horns, oboes, bassoons, everything, harp. I think it was just amazing. My brother and I went to the rehearsal, and we were just like unbelievably floored. Tony Bennett singing "Don't Get Around Much Anymore" to us, and everything. It was great. Anyway, so from that moment, I always wanted to play for him, and then he died. And another time, he was playing somewhere, and my father was still alive, and I wanted to bring my father backstage to tell Tony Bennett, "Hey, this is my dad. He played for you at Ben Maxick's Town and Country in 1960 something, either 62 or 63 or 64." And we were waiting backstage, and somebody came, a local musician that I never really got to talk to, and I think I was just being polite too, because he was on his way out. He went in to see Tony Bennett. He was on his way out, and we started chatting, and I didn't want to be rude, but then the guy came out to get us in to see Tony Bennett, and he saw that I was talking to something, so he sloughed us off and didn't let us come back. So I missed it that time too, and I never got to meet Tony Bennett, but then I realized maybe it's beshert, maybe it's not it's purposeful, that maybe I should never have met him and never have played for him. I took my grandma to see Frank Sinatra once, and never got to play for Frank Sinatra. I almost got to play for Frank Sinatra Jr., but that didn't work out. Just like in a brief thing, but we were both on the same radio station at the same time or something, but it didn't work out. Anyway, so back to Tony Bennett. So I wanted to play for him and use this imagery for him, but maybe God didn't want him to have imagery. Maybe, he had what he had, and that's it. Maybe the next singer who will get this imagery, we'll see who it might be. I have an idea who it might be, but we'll have to see. All right, so let's try this again. I had a little intro there. Let's see. The loveliness of Paris seems somehow sadly gay. The glory that was Rome is of another day. I've been terribly alone and forgotten in Manhattan, so I'm going home to my city by the bay. I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. may chill the air. I don't care, 'cause my love waits there. In San Francisco, above the blue and windy sea, when I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. Now, there are two, I just realized something today. There are two instrumentalists that are my favorite swingers, and they're both passed away. One of them was Mike Gold. He's a saxophone player, local saxophone player, but he's probably played for every act you could ever imagine. And Duffy Jackson. And I think the reason why they swung so hard, or my teacher also swung very hard, but he had a very subtle way and very smooth. He swung like a horn player, but it was very smooth and slick. But these two, Mike Gold had like a way of swinging where you could feel the tension between the two notes. Here's the other. He bounced. It's like a ball bouncing to the next note. And I think he had to do that because he usually plays lead alto in a big band of 5 saxophones, and that lead alto player has to swing so hard because he sets the whole, he's usually playing the melody and he sets the tone for the rest of the saxes. So he's got to play in the pocket because everyone's got to follow him. So he had a way. I was once sitting listening to Mike Gold. We went to a klezmer concert. Mike was playing klezmer with another group, and my mom and I were sitting in the audience, and then they played some swing tune like by Mr. Shane, and he was swinging so hard. Putting it right in the pocket, and he's playing by himself as a horn player, but with a little rhythm section. And I was thinking, wow, he has such a command over that bounce. And of course, Duffy, because Duffy's the drummer usually in a big band, and the whole band has to feel that bounce. So Duffy played the same way. So you put the two of them together. Wow, what a combination. Anyway, so now let's swing. I left my heart in San Francisco and I took it up to B flat. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chill the air, but I don't care, 'cause my love waits there in San Francisco. sun shining, right? All right, so that's how somehow I would do it. I'd figure a way to stay out of Mr. Bennett's way, let him sing his notes, and just subtly go for those types of imageries, right? And then he'll probably turn around and say, he's never heard something like that before. He'll look and say, wow, he likes that. It makes him feel like I'm painting a picture for him, a background behind him, and he's able to tell his story and convey the message of that lyric. And it's a beautiful thing. All right. There's another song that he did. Let me see if I could do this. Just happened to find this book. Someone gave me this nice Lawrence Welk book. And it has The Way You Look Tonight in it. And I'll do that song. Let me see. And let's see here. Indeed. This is The Way You Look Tonight. It was in copyright 1936. I think after 50 years or 75 years, it's open to the public. Like anyone can record this. They don't have to pay anybody any royalties. There's certain songs like that. Maybe that's another reason why Hashem had me wait so long to start focusing on these tunes. Because I'm trying to do 100 years of music of the past from my parents' generation, from like the I don't know, like with those rags, you know, and all those, the Joplin rags and things like that. I think they're like the 1800s. They're probably for sure public domain by now, and I don't have to pay anybody anything. So maybe it's a good place to start to record music. Anyway, okay, so this was written, the words by Dorothy Fields and the music by Jerome Kern. Now, I always do the words first. I give honor to the right. It's like, you have to honor the Kohanim first. In Torah, you honor the Kohanim, then the Levites, and then the Israelites, right? The priests and the Levites, the musicians, and also they have a watch in the Beis Hamikdash, in the temple. And then the Levites are stam regular Jews mostly. So I honor the lyrics first because the music is to support and convey the message of the lyric, not the other way around. I did hear a song the other day. I was listening to David Sanborn, and I like his sound. Very, very animated. All I could say is what do I like about it is that it's like lifted off the page, and it's almost like you're not playing an instrument anymore. It's like the sound has a life of its own. I knew an acquaintance of mine at college that played like David Sanborn. He was well known, and he had that sound too. And it's like you're so into that sound that you're not thinking about what fingering to use, or all the mechanics of music is just beneath you now. It's just part of you, and that sound is what's animated and alive. And I also noticed, like in the Count Basie Orchestra, when all the horn players, specifically the saxophones, when they play with such personality, they just all together, and it's so animated. It's like, but they play with personality. They bend notes and they do things all together as a section. It's kind of like that Sanborn, or vice versa. Sanborn's kind of like that because he came after Basie, but I think he's no longer with us either, David Sanborn, nor is Basie. But they left recordings, and you could listen to those that Sanborn sound. If I could somehow get that Sanborn sound on the piano, that would be like a great thing. Let me see if I can do that. know the melody, you got to know the lyrics real well. You got to have all the mechanics in your head, and then you play. That's going to be my goal. And then if I get that Sanborn animated sound, or what the equivalent would be on the piano, then hopefully I'll achieve that. So these are things I think about. I listen to people. I try to take all their virtues and incorporate it, and I just haven't mastered it all yet, but it's all in the back of my head. I know what I'm shooting for. Got to get the lyric conveyed. You got to have that animated sound. Got to swing like the hardest that you could possibly swing. Put everything in the right place with that animated sound, and it's so great. I mean, I don't know any greater music to be played on earth than with those types of sounds. But that Count Basie had a very animated sound in each section. Trumpets, trombones. Listen to that. There's a song, I don't know, if maybe Whirlybird had some things like that. There's a song, Whirlybird, an arrangement of that. Whirlybird, I think. And there's some of those ballads like Little Darlin' and The Queen Bee. The Queen Bee is another one. The sections are if they're very tight with each other and unified, and the lead player in each section has a good personality, he'll bend things and do stuff, and the other players will follow him, and you could hear it's like each section has an animated personality to it, and then they put it all together, and it's just awesome. I don't know any other band like that, you know? All right, so let's try this one now. This is called The Way You Look Tonight. I said words by Dorothy Fields, music by Jerome Kern. I don't know what show this is from, but I'll just try. You all know this song. It's a popular one, and I'll try to, let me read you the lyrics. Someday when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold. I guess that's where Mr. Maggio got that point, right? When the world is cold, how can I say that? To give over that. So someday when I'm awfully low, right? When the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Wow, the way you look tonight is enough to pull me out of all those terrible feelings, right? Oh, but you're lovely. Oh, but you're lovely. With your smile so warm, and your cheek so soft, and your cheek so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you. Just the way you look tonight. Okay, those are the two A sections, the two verses, I guess you'd say. It's hard to distinguish between verses and choruses in a song, like a standard song, when there's actually a verse. Like on the last tune, that had a verse. So then I don't know what to call the other two A sections. I'll call it like the chorus. And I haven't figured out what to call it. It perplexes me. Let's see. Okay. With each word, your tenderness grows. And there's a key change here. It modulates to another place. With each word, your tenderness grows. With each word, your tenderness grows. Tearing my fear apart. Great, good, I want my fear to go. Tearing my fear apart. And that laugh, wow, that wrinkles your nose, touches my foolish heart. Now, I don't know if this song came after, it's 1936, but there's another song called My Foolish Heart. I don't know what year that came out. That's when I have good encyclopedic knowledge of all the music. Then I could see, oh, this came right after My Foolish Heart, and they stuck it in the song. Sometimes they make references to other songs. I've come across many songs where they make references to other songs that came before, in the 20s or the 30s. You'll see in the music of the 40s. I played for some singers, and the songs make reference to the other things. So you got to know your history. There's so many things you got to know to play a song, what I call right, you know, where you're conveying the message of the lyric. And this is the right way to play. I don't think it's... Look, I love my colleagues. I'm doing this because I'm spilling the beans on all this so that I'm not trying to show off. I'm trying to help them open their mind to what really should be. Because I hear what everybody does. I know we studied at music school. We end up just reading the chords, and we play chords underneath. That's why I was so angry when I heard Herbie Hancock accompanying Cynthia Erivo. It sounded like he was just playing chords, maybe little notes here and there, but he wasn't using imagery that he could use. He's such a master of the vocabulary. I'd love to hear him play some imagery that he would, wow, what he would do, and he'd come up with so many great ideas. All those great pianists, him, I know Chick Corea passed away, him I would have loved to have heard play some imagery, Keith Jarrett, Bill Dobbins, Bob James. I have so many favorite pianists that I like for various reasons, their simplicity or their swing feel or for their voicings or for their touch or for, Red Garland, Monty Alexander. I have so many favorites, but I never hear any of them use any imagery. So I'm trying to put my foot down in this generation and show what could be, and hopefully as I become more of a master of the vocabulary and of this concept, you'll see that's the only way to play. It's the only right way to play, or else you're just filling space. We're not here to fill or noodle. We're here to play meaningful things that will help convey the message of the lyric. My dear musician colleagues, whom I love so much, try to open your ears and your minds. This is the right way to play. I don't see any other way to play. And in fact, I was saying, I was telling my brother, cartoon music is very animated. Wow, with the vibes. You see the mouse run? They bring it to life. And Broadway show music, because they usually write, and a lot of these tunes came from the Broadway show, but then when they got into the hands of the jazz player who's not being sensitive to the lyric and who's not using imagery, then it died there. I think it's all dead, and that's why this music can't get off the ground anymore, because we've got a lot of insensitive players playing who just want to use the song to show off themselves and their mastery of the vocabulary. They abandon the lyric completely, they abandon the melody. You don't even know what they're playing. And they just try to, impress you. They press to impress. They press the key to impress, and that's not the right way to play. So the wise ones will understand what I'm saying, and then hopefully the rest will follow. Let's see. Okay, Lovely. Now we're back to Lovely again. Now back to that key change. Goes back to the original place. Let's see here. But he called her Lovely before, didn't he? What did he say before? Yeah, oh, but you're lovely. That was the second verse, I guess you'd call it. This with each word, I guess that would be like the B section or the chorus or an interlude section, depending on what your starting point is, how you're viewing it. Now he says, lovely, never, never change. Lovely, never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it, 'cause I love you. Arrange it to stay that way. Don't ever change. I love you and I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Won't you please arrange it, 'cause I love you. Make it happen. Just the way you look tonight. I love you just the way you look tonight. But I don't think he's just talking about her physical appearance. I think he's talking about all there are other physical things that she does, her smile and her laugh and all these different things, her tenderness, her traits, her character traits. He's looking past just her physical beauty, but it shows in her physical beauty all these traits, all these spiritual, social, mental, emotional, physical, and financial, if you will, traits that are in her and he loves about her, and this is what he's focused on. And I think Tony Bennett sang this one too. Yes, I believe he did. So just the way you look tonight, just the way you look tonight. It repeats itself there, and it says it to play it softer, right? So almost like being the music's almost telling you to be very tender and decrescendo and bow out of your awesome feelings for her and just cool out, chill, take a chill pill and back out and just let her hear your words. She moved you so much that you had to write this song and sing it to her. Let's try that. Now let's try it. Someday And I'll just play simple chords until I figure out the imagery. Let's see. Someday, when I'm awfully low, right? When the world is cold, cold, cold. When the world is cold, and I will feel a glow, just thinking of you, and the way you look tonight. Now they have this little thing in here. With your smile so warm and your cheek so soft. Now I'm gonna get something better soft. There is nothing for me but to love you. Put the flat 5 in there, substitution. And the way you look, put another chord in here too. And the way you look tonight. Okay, interesting. And then it goes to that little part again. Okay, that's where the modulates. Neat. Okay. Now we go. With each word, with each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fear apart, and that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never change. You can just stay there. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you. Just the way you look tonight. We'll save it for the last time, that last little thing, and then maybe I'll play on it. Let's see. Just the Just the way you look tonight. Yeah, yeah. Something like that. Ideas. These are ideas of imagery. Certainly better than filling in a lot of garbage in there. Make it related to the lyric. And then you have a work of art. It's beautiful. Mother, is that you?
Yeah.
You want to come sing? Yeah. Come on, bring that. It's not feeling too well. She had a little sniffles. Sniffles? You gonna use your mic though? Hope you don't get yourself sick.
I didn't get myself sick.
You might get yourself sick.
I don't know.
Try that mic. You got pants on? All right, stay over there. Stay over there.
No, I can't.
You got no pants.
I have pants.
There's a rule on this show. You got to come with pants.
Yeah, you're undressed.
You don't. And if you sit the wrong way, it'll be all. I'll be out of commission.
Oh,
You know, there are still rating. They still rate you.
I'm not getting any ratings.
I'm sure they on YouTube they probably don't permit it if it's sexually alive. Go ahead, talk. What do you got?
Testing 1,
You
2.
want to dissect or you want to?
No, I don't like dissecting.
You don't like that?
No, I'm not dissecting.
What do you want to sing?
Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever? Let me see if I find something here for you in the Lawrence Welk book. Let's see.
Something that I know.
Of course. I wouldn't think of anything different. Let's see.
Love, I found you.
Love, I found you.
Love, I don't know this, but love, I found you after so many loveless years. Nancy Wilson did this song.
You want to sing my what do you call it? I just saw something. How about I only have eyes for you?
Okay, let's try
without
it.
pants, you only have thighs for you.
I'll stay right here.
Are my stars out tonight? What key they? I only have thighs for you. Let me see.
Larry, what is this bag on with my dolly?
I just put her there because I need the space. You with your keen eye
Hi, everyone.
can always see.
That's one nice thing about having this thing in your house.
What?
You can just walk out anytime.
Oh, are we still on? Yeah, we're still on. Okay. We even just do a show, you mean?
Yeah, you could just come out and sing.
Well, we don't want to
anytime.
do too many shows because then it gets
Well, it was your idea. I heard you singing.
messing up this.
As a matter of fact, I was sleeping and then I heard you.
And you heard was it a little on key? Or
No, it was fine.
Yeah.
But
Are the stars out tonight, right? Now let me give you some nice stars. Go ahead.
are the stars out tonight? I don't know if they're blue,
it's
cloudy or bright. For I only have eyes for you, dear. The moon may be high, but I can't see a thing in the sky. For I only have eyes for you, dear.
Okay, that's good. Only have eyes for you.
I don't know if we're in a garden or on a crowded avenue. You are here, so am I. Maybe millions of people pass by, but they all disappear from view. For I only have eyes for you. they all disappear from view. For I only have eyes. For I only have eyes. For I only have eyes for you.
Okay. Want to do another one?
Oh.
I'm on the roll now.
No, you're not any rolls.
Lulu's back in town. Can you put Saundra in there instead?
I could have.
What about whatever Saundra wants,
Oh.
Saundra gets.
What's the name?
And little man, little Saundra wants you.
Whatever Lola wants?
I'm saying whatever.
What's the name? I know, but what's
whatever
the name?
Lola wants.
I don't have it in front of me. I played before. There's a little tricky bridge there. I don't know if I know it. 226 on it. Let's do this Lulu.
I don't know that, Larry.
I'll help you.
I didn't.
I have the words in front of me. I don't want to mess up this piano. I gotta be careful. I push too hard. It's a 100-year-old piano. No one messed up. Let's see. Gonna get my old tuxedo pressed. Gotta sew a button on my vest. 'Cause tonight I've gotta look my best. 'Cause Saundra's back in town. Oh, gotta get a $50 somewhere. Gotta shine my shoes and stick my hair. Gotta get myself a button there. Button there. Sandra's back in town. You can tell all my pets, all my Harlem coquettes, Mr. Otis regrets that he won't be around. You can tell the mailman not to call. I ain't coming home until the fall. I might not get back home at all. 'Cause Sandra's back in town. But that's a guy song, huh? You need
How
some.
about
What could you
in
do?
this world
Oh,
of ordinary people?
what's the name of that?
Ordinary people, extraordinary
That's the full
people.
name? You sure?
I'm glad there is
I
you
don't have it in front of me.
in this world of overrated places and underrated places. I'm glad there is you. I live to love and love to live with you beside me. This road so new, I'll muddle through with you to guide me. In this world, we hardly ever
It's a tricky sound.
stay in love,
Try T for
and
2.
hardly every play in love. I'm glad there is you more than ever. I'm glad there is you.
What else?
What did you
T
say?
for 2.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Let me get the lyrics because I want to see. Maybe I'm not using the right imagery.
Oh,
I
try
gotta,
singing it with me, because
as soon as you said to me we're not going to dissect, I go back to the piano player I was created to be.
And what one is that?
Just filling in a lot of BS in between, you know. I don't want to do that. I want to play meaningfully.
So, well, do you want me to snap? I can go back into
No, you can try it. Oh, it's in this key here. Okay, let's try this key. Let's see.
Picture you upon my knee, tea for two and two for tea, me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. Won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Dear, day will break and I'll awake, start to bake a sugar cake for me to taste and all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a boy for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Upon my knee, tea for two and two for tea, me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, friends or relations on weekend occasions. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Day will break and I will wake, start to bake a sugar cake for me to taste and all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Well, can't you see how happy we will be? Oh God.
And the dream.
I kind of like, it's fun to like just pick out songs and hope that you know them. Well, we've got Valentine's Day coming on Friday. We could do My Funny Valentine.
Sure.
Wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, Yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? Don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? Don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's. Each day is Valentine's. Each day is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I do better without my pants on, actually.
Yeah, you sing better without pants. You're a real trooper without pants.
You're right.
Everybody should have such a problem.
You're right.
All right.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Let's
I was
hold
just
there.
warming up.
But how does it sound? Do I sound like I don't have laryngitis?
No, you sound okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. See you next
Good night,
week.
everybody. Thank you for letting us invade your privacy.
Oh, my little buzzer was there. Hi, Howie. Hi, Miss Crabtree.
Who's there?
Howie's there.
Our Howie?
Our Howie.
Oh,
Hi,
Howie.
you Krabby.
Hi, does Howie have a request for a song? Ask him if he wants something.
You have any requests? Yeah, well, we'll play anyway.
What does he want me to sing?
Probably not sing at all. I don't know if he's still watching. Says he's watching, but maybe just makes an imprint and then it leaves. I don't know.
Oh, did he ask for anything?
No, you asking me for anything, Howie? Are you there? Are you saying so? No, okay. I don't. Howie just drifted into the background. All right. So we'll hold there. Why, you want an encore? You want to do an encore?
All of me.
Well, Randy just showed up. Maybe I don't want to make him feel like we're not going to play something for him.
Who's
Randy Stevens showed up.
Oh,
so.
okay. Let's do all of me.
All of me?
Yeah.
Are you usual, the one that you always
Yeah, the one
do?
that I always do.
Why is that?
Because I love this song.
How about we try it in minor? Let's try it in minor. I bet it'll have a
Don't
whole...
put me in a difficult key. Make me feel comfortable.
It'll have a whole new...
I don't like being tested.
It'll be like sad. It's really sad.
Oh, no. No.
Why not take all of me? Oh?
You want to do one first chorus, sad, and then pick it up? After you do yours? Okay. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to use them. Take these arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I
It's an emotion there.
go on, dear, without you? Well, you took the part that once was my heart. So why not take all of me? so
Okay.
we can go.
I'm a little tired.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Larry.
Not all my singers come without pants, so
Well,
I don't know how to deal with
Well,
that, you
because
know?
I come so close.
Throws me off my game when my singer shows up without pants.
I do have pants, Larry. You don't. I'm wearing something.
Well, you're like Anne Margaret. You got that very... I don't want to get them all hot and bothered. All
I'm
right.
just not dressed for your show.
Okay. But for your show, you're dressed.
I'm dressed for my show.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.